Holy, holy, holy. Everything in this moment is the truth and the innocence of love. Accept this truth, and all vision is opened. All of the heart is opened. Are you here, ready to accept this holiness? Are you here, present in this divine awareness? The willingness to be here in divine awareness of all love. Nothing else is true. The heart, the willingness to accept that only love is real, that nothing else exists. To the mind that believes in conflict, this seems complicated. But the acceptance of love is simple. The acceptance of peace, of joy, of harmony. In this moment, choosing. Holiness, wholeness, innocence. That there is nothing that is happening, that there is nothing except love. Can you and will you accept? You can, if you choose. And the willingness to accept love is the healing of every belief that has said, I am separate, I know separation. I am without. I know I am without. All of these misperceptions, these mistakes, can be offered in this moment into the hands of God, into love. The leap of faith, the trust that there are no enemies, that there are no problems, that there is no conflict except in the belief of separation. Does not make them true, it just makes them appear to be real because you believe them. The willingness to surrender those beliefs, the willingness to drop down into the heart, into that devotion, that longing to remember. And in that longing, in that devotion, all healing is guaranteed. In this moment, the willingness to accept humanity's innocence, everything, everyone, every possible combination of anything is all innocent, all love, all wholeness, nothing else is happening but love. Love is in motion, movement, blessing, moving as a dance of love. You can join the dance of love. You can sing with love. You can hear with love. It's just the letting go of what you know and opening to what is. Breathing into this moment, the willingness to surrender all beliefs that say there are differences, there are problems, there are levels, there are degrees. The willingness to surrender all of those perceived differences, all of those perceived levels and degrees, and to accept the wholeness, to accept the divine alchemy of love, and to accept transformation. One heart and one breath in the yes. Breathing, allowing. And as you breathe into this moment, just paying attention. Are you here? Or is the mind taking your attention someplace else? Are you willing to be present here in this totality of love that is all here, all present? Are you willing to no longer accept the distractions that say, I know something, I believe something separate? The willingness to accept that in every breath is the opportunity, the moment of yes. Breathing fully and deeply. Entering in this moment into forgiveness, the willingness to forgive all perceptions, all ideas that say there is a problem, there is separation, there is upset. The willingness to release all of these believed differences and allow the heart to rest in love, as love, and with love. And breathing. Breathing deeply and fully, as if this was your first breath ever. Breathing into the willingness of union, harmony, and peace. Breathing. Breathing deeply into the throat, staying present and aware right here in this moment. Breathing into the spine, surrendering the spine into the hands of God. Surrendering and breathing into the shoulders, arms, and hands, and everything being surrendered into love, into God. Not wanting to keep anything separate to battle with. Willingness to breathe. Breathing into the heart, focusing on the heart, and calling the heart to become undefended, open and available. Bringing the heart forward in this moment, focusing on bringing the heart forward. Where you've held back today, now is the moment. Allowing the heart to come forward. Breathing into the belly, staying aware, present in this moment. Surrendering all the organs into the hands of God. Not wanting to keep anything separate, defended, present right now. And breathing into the hips and thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and feet. Feeling your feet on the ground. Truly wanting to connect everything into the earth and connecting into the heavens. Everything connected. Breathing. Now surrendering the emotional body into the hands of God. No longer willing to have the mind run the emotional body. No longer willing to have the emotional body filled with fear, expressing doubt, concern, all elements of fear, anger, suspicions, all surrender. The willingness to surrender the emotional body into the heart of God. Breathing. The willingness to have the emotional body express love in all of its various expressions. Compassion, harmony, peace, joy. Everything surrendered into love. Not wanting to keep anything in separation as mine, but willing to be present right in this moment, awake and aware of this moment. Breathing. And as you continue to breathe deeply and fully, filling every cell, every molecule with divine breath, the willingness to affirm that here in this infinite circle of love we are one. Be aware of this circle of love. Open and expand into the awareness of this circle of love. Stepping out of the little me into wholeness, into union, into unity. Breathing. This sanctuary is filled with love. Love is all that exists. This universe is all of love. There is only one presence here. It is the life force of God. And within this life force we live and move and breathe as one. Breathing. One heart and one breath in devotion to love. The acceptance of love. There is only one presence here. One presence here. It is this moment in awareness, staying aware, staying in this present moment. In the willingness to love. Allow this prayer to truly pierce your heart with your divine intention. Oh Father, I pray for tenderness. Oh Father, I pray for the love. I pray for the awareness of my inner worth. I open up my heart to receive you, Mother, to know the holy light, so I can see. Oh Father, I pray for tenderness. Oh Father, I pray for the love. I pray for the awareness of my inner worth. I pray for the awareness of my inner worth. That your inner worth is not in what you believe in within the world. That your inner worth is waiting to be brought into awareness as you let go of what you think you know and open the heart to find that true awareness of love that is free, all of harmony, all of peace, all of joy, and has no separate thoughts that say, I know this, I know that, I know the past, the willingness to accept that you can pray for inner worth, to know the inner worth within, the willingness to let go and allow a new way, a new awareness to run your life, to be guided in every moment, and to willingly listen to that voice of love that is wanting to guide, that is wanting to show you the way. Right now. Right now. The voice of love is wanting to guide you. But to hear that voice of love is to let go of what you know and to humbly ask, what is most helpful right now? How can I serve in this moment? How can I offer love in this moment? I pray for tenderness. I pray for love. There is no tenderness in the thoughts of separation. There is no tenderness in the belief of conflict. There is no tenderness in trying to be in control. There is only love and tenderness in the open, undefended heart, the willingness to remember love. The dawn has arrived resplendently. The dawn has arrived of a new day. My Father is here, that is where He is, and my Mother is here. The dawn has arrived, illuminating resplendently the new day. My Mother is here with open arms and with her roses of crystal purity, and the heart became resplendent and bloomed with all that love. My Mother is here, oh yes she is, and my Father is here in great jubilation. Resplendently illuminating, it is dawn and the sun has risen. In the resplendence of the divine light, we recognize the truth of love. The sun has risen, illuminating the day, illuminating into the truth of love. Love is the innocent child that is within every heart. Amanheceu, esplandeceu, amanheceu, um novo dia. Meu Pai é lá, ela que ela está, minha mãe está, é o seu altar. Amanheceu, iluminou, esplandeceu, um novo dia. Minha mãe está lá, de saberes abertos e suas rosas, puras e de cristal, esplandeceu o coração de saboroso, todo é o amor. Minha mãe está lá sim, lá está meu Pai, em de júbilo resplandeceu, iluminou, e arruvada o sol nasceu, no resplandor da divina luz. Nosso Pai nos traz o menino Jesus. O sol nasceu, iluminou. Vamos receber o Salvador. Ele é menino, ele é o amor que agora chega aos corações. Every moment is a new moment. Every moment is the new day. This new day, are you entering it resplendently with the opportunity of healing, or are you entering it with an intention of protection, with an intention of figuring out the day, with an intention of protection of any kind? The new day. Every moment is a new moment of forgiveness. Forgiving the moment before when you forgot. Forgiving the mistaken identity of the knower. Forgiving the mistaken identity of all that you have perceived and all have believed in. Forgiving the belief that there is separation and that there are enemies and that there are problems and that there is something to protect. Forgiving. Forgiving the identity of being separate as a body and all the attention that is given to the body to keep it safe in the belief that there is death. This is a new day. The new day that is the eternal. Enter it now. Enter it into this moment with the willingness. It's all within you. Accept the innocence. Accept the innocence within and accept the innocence in everything that you see. And freedom, love, and joy is revealed. You can see through the heart, through the light of love. So Hafiz is offering the light of love in this moment. When a dog runs up, start seeing everything as God, but keep it a secret. Become like the man and woman who are awestruck and nourished, who recognize there is nourishment in every moment. Listening to a golden nightingale sing in a beautiful foreign language while God, invisible to most, nests upon its tongue. The willingness to see God in everything. The willingness to be awestruck and nourished at the truth of love. Hafiz, who can you tell in this world that when a dog runs up to you wagging its ecstatic tail, you lean over and whisper in its ear, "Beloved, I am so glad you are happy to see me. Beloved, I am so glad, so very glad you have come." To let go of the mind and to accept everything as the beloved. To accept that everything is the divine. Nothing that you have made in the belief of separation could ever touch the divine truth of oneness. So why hold on to it? Why accept it any longer? Why accept limitation when love is waiting to be recognized? Hafiz also asks, who wants those? I'm at a juncture now where I have never been, where I never have to be serious again. If I act that way, somber, sober, and concerned about something, it's just a charade. For people who are serious, well, let's face it, they seem to have a lot of problems. And who wants those? Who needs those when they're all made up? This is the choice. To see the divine in everything and to recognize there are no problems. Whatever problems are being conjured up and taken so seriously are all the belief that there is something to control, something to be in charge of, something that needs to be proven, something that needs to be won, something that needs to be defended against. Why not let it go? Why not accept that love is all that there is? And in that acceptance, in that willingness, letting the light of love reveal the beauty and the perfection that is here when you don't want what you think you know anymore. In the prayer, I am here only to be truly helpful. There is an awareness, and in that awareness, the awareness says, I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because love will direct me. But you have to recognize first that you're worried. You have to recognize first that in everything that you think you know, it's run by worry. If you believe that your knowing and your thinking and your doing that is run by the past is really impressive, you won't be able to see that underneath it's run all by worry. The worry sometimes comes out at other times, but you seem to be able to separate it from what you think and what you know and what you have to do and what you have to say. And then it just comes later when you're quiet. Then the worry comes. But recognize that in the moment, everything that you separately believe that you are making decisions and figuring things out, it's all run by worry. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because love will direct me. That offering is right there saying to you, I am worried. I am worried that what I think, what I know, what I perceive is a battle. I'm worried about it. I'm worried because behind what I think and what I know and what I perceive is a defense system. It's a defense system that keeps saying, I have to control, I have to know, I have to defend. The ego doesn't show you the defense system that obviously. It's wrapped up in believing that you're being successful. It's wrapped up in the belief that you're making progress and that you're so smart for knowing so much, for figuring things out so well, for planning so well. That's one of the funniest. Planning. How many lists you make a day? How many decisions are you making on your own every day? Do you stop and ask what would be most helpful? I don't know. Or do you just continue on with your lists, with your knowing, with your strategies, with your life as if you have control over it and you want more? You want more control? It's a place of pain. Do you get the connection between pain and trying to control? Or are you still hiding in the arrogance of, no, I've got this figured out. I'm a good planner. I'm a good figure-outer. I'm really successful at it. The worry's something separate. Worry just happens to me because I'm a victim of the world. Because I have to defend myself. Because life is hard. Because life is treacherous. And until you can connect the dots, or you're willing to connect the dots, that the pain and suffering is actually coming from what you think you know, to connect the dots that your worry, you're trying to control and defend and plan and know, is where all the pain and suffering is actually coming from. Are you willing to accept this? That's the key. Or are you determined to be right? Determined to be in control? Maybe it's going to start after this next bout of control. Kind of like the alcoholic or the drug addict that says, no, tomorrow I'll throw away the drugs. Tomorrow I'll throw away the alcohol. But today I want to be in control because I have too many things I have to get done. I have too many things that I want to make sure that I'm in control of. It starts now. The new day has arrived. This is the new day. This is the new day that says, today I will surrender. I will not make decisions by myself. Not make decisions in the belief that I am in charge. But you have to choose that it's today. Now. What are you thinking right now? What thoughts are running right now? What do you hear? What do you believe in right now? Is this a moment of surrender? Is this a moment of, I really don't know? I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because love will direct me. Are you willing to let go of self-made decisions in this moment? Just this moment. It's right here. It's not tomorrow. It's here. First comes the prayer. The first element is the prayer that you truly want to see through the strategies. Do you want to see through the strategies? That's the key. Are you willing to trust enough that I will be healed as I let love teach me to heal. How can I be healed unless I allow love to teach me to heal? That I become the happy learner, the happy student that follows and is led. And I don't know what anything means, but I'm willing. I'm willing. To never be serious again is to let go of worry. It isn't necessarily that you're joking around and laughing in order to dispel energy, but that you have a happy heart because you're not under the influence of what you know. The happy heart that is willing to be led. But this can't stay as theory. This cannot stay as later. Not while I'm busy, not while I'm running my life, not while I'm making plans, not while I'm deciding what I'm doing, what it should be like, how it should come out, what the results are, what my time is doing, all of my day. Where is love's guidance? Where is my willingness to be guided? Is it here? It isn't magic. The willingness to be guided doesn't show up like shaking you saying, hey, do you want to be guided? No, it's a choice that you have to make because you made the choice to not be guided. You made the choice that you had a separate life in a separate world and that you were a victim of it, and that there was a problem and that it was of time and that there was something needed to be controlled. And so it's within you, that little willingness, at least the little willingness to be guided in and through your day. It's the choice that you are called into in every moment by love. But you have to choose. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because love will direct me. This prayer doesn't say, love will direct me sometimes. This prayer doesn't say, love will direct me when you do it, when you ask correctly. No, it says, I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because love will direct me, period. Love will direct me. If I choose. If I choose. When there is a seeming problem, it isn't just then that you choose. Because every moment without love is a conflict. Every moment without the yes to love is held in conflict and battle. Does the ego show this battle as a battle? No. It shows it as success. It shows it as accomplishment. It shows it as, I think I'm in control. And at the very least, I want to be in control. I want to make the decisions. But connect the dots. Connect the dots to recognize that all of the pain and the suffering is coming from those decisions that are made in the belief of conflict. That all the pain and suffering is coming from the belief that you are alone and without. And the calling of guidance is one of the first steps to recognize I am not separate. All of love is serving my remembering and is willing to guide me on the road to remembering. I am not alone. I can't be alone. But when you're making up your own mind and coming up with your plans and your lists and your decisions on your own of what you like and what you don't like and what you accept as good and what you accept as bad, you're going to be afraid. And you're going to be worried because you have done everything exactly like your past. There is no possibility of healing because the past has run your day. The past beliefs of what you know have run your day. And there can't be any peace there. There can't be any recognition of tranquility and joy. And there can't be any open-hearted presence because the mind that is so fearful of the past and of what you know and your identity is running. And it's a place of pain and suffering. Nothing outside you is causing pain and suffering. Connect the dots. The dots are, when I let go, I open to love. When I let go and allow to be shown a new way and to really recognize I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because love will direct me. Mm-hmm. Love will direct me. Am I willing to be directed? I am content to be wherever love calls me to be, knowing that love is there with me. Not the knowing of the mind, but the yes, the awareness. I can be content right here, not knowing, because everything is love. Everything is harmony. Everything is perfection. There's nothing for me to gain. There's nothing for me to prove. There's nothing for me to do. There's no efficiency in the world that is going to bring you to love. That is a guarantee. Everything that you consider to be efficient is a big joke. A big cosmic joke. And while you're playing at being efficient, you're not available for love. You're not able to remember love because your focus is on a goal. It's on a structure, on an identity that says this means something. Maybe you even fantasize about getting a special prize for being the most efficient. And that prize for efficiency will say, I am as miserable as anyone can be in the belief of efficiency. Everything is about surrendering. So when Hafiz says, I am at a juncture now where I never have to be serious again. There is nothing in efficiency that doesn't embrace seriousness. Because you believe in a set of rules. The rules are very serious. The rules of the world are very serious. You line them up, you list them, you believe in them, you make sure you know them, you make sure that you follow them, you want to know everything so you feel safe in that. It's about the rules. There's no joy, there is no harmony, there is no love in those rules. The laws of God are without those rules. The laws of God are harmony, peace, joy, love itself, ease, wholeness, being undefended, the laws of God. Your rules have no purpose except to hold you in the belief that you are separate and without and defended. The rule of cause and effect, where you believe your efficiency, your control is actually helping you. And this has no truth. To believe in your efficiency, your being, your single identity, if you believe in that efficiency, in that control, you are saying, I don't trust the power of God. I trust what I know. It's what I've always trusted, and hasn't it done really well for me so far? Hasn't it brought me to a great deal of open-hearted joy and harmony? Look at it. It has not. Connect the dots. It does not serve love. It does not bring you to a place of peace and joy. There is no peace and joy in your efficiency and the belief of control. It's not possible because it's made out of fear. Does the ego show that it's made out of fear? No. The ego shows it as, oh, you're so good at that. You're such an efficient person. You're such an efficient and controlled, successful person. Where is the joy? Where is the harmony? Where is the open heart, undefended? Can you trust that there is a power of love, and it is the only power in the entire universe? It is the universe. It is the power of being, of life. Do you not believe that that power of love can run your life? That's the silliness, that you actually believe that your life is better run by what you know and by your individual decisions. And love is waiting to show you a new life. A life of ease and grace and harmony. A life of union. A life without identity of a separate self. Not the body. Not temporary. But eternal. Divine spirit. Divine light. Divine beauty. Always, eternally, the divine. You've never been anything else. And in that belief of efficiency and control, you're wanting a separate life. You're wanting control of a separate life that you believe you are. But you're not. Thank God. Then all the worry is gone. Because the realization is there is no death. There is nothing to be frightened of. There is nothing to worry about. There is nothing to control. Love can't be controlled. There's nothing needed to be of control. Control, by its very nature says something is wrong. Control says something has to be harnessed. Something is dangerous. Something is not okay. Love doesn't need control. Love is, love flows, love blesses, love graces, love serves, love laughs, love is. All the divine choice. But only you can make that choice. It's a new day. The sun has risen, illuminating. The entire universe is always illuminated. If you accept that, then every day becomes dedicated to being led. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because love will direct me. It's a recognition that love will direct you. You may think that you're being directed now by something. You're being directed by a false identity. You're being directed by fear. You're always being directed. You're not actually making decisions on your own. There is no on your own. You're either in the hands of fear, being directed by fear, making decisions by fear which are all based on the past, or you are being directed by love. It's never neutral. And that becomes the question. Are you willing to stop and question who is running this moment? Who is running these decisions? Love or fear? And fear isn't the obvious fear where you're chewing your nails off or have an upset stomach. Fear shows itself as arrogance. Fear shows itself as stubbornness. Fear shows itself as determined to have its own way, to defend, to protect. But it doesn't show itself except when you really shine the light on it and you see that it's fear. Efficiency doesn't look like fear. Control doesn't look like fear if you can be subtle enough about it. If you become reckless with it, then everybody will go, God, stop trying to control everything. But, you found a way to do it subtly. And it's to really recognize what's running. Is it love that's running? And are these decisions from love? Am I listening to the voice of love? Am I willing to be guided? Am I willing to be led by love? Because I'm always led. I'm always led either by fear or by love. Connect the dots. You're not making decisions on your own. The past is making your decisions, and the past is your fear. The identity of fear, the identity of being separate and without. And there has to be a choice made. You have the choice. If you're willing to bring that choice to awareness and really stop and ask, what is most helpful? I don't know. then the funniest thing happens. When you begin to be guided, and truly being guided, there isn't a place anymore for the little I that says, aren't I wonderful, and don't you think I'm keen for all that I do and all that I know and all that I control? There isn't a need anymore. That need is no longer there of needing to be acknowledged for your wonderfulness. In the guidance is also saying, I'm one with love. And there's nothing needed here because I'm just the vehicle of love. I'm the instrument because I am joined in love. And my nourishment comes from love. It doesn't come from the success of being the doer. It comes from the divine service of an open heart and an offering of love and non-attachment. A whole new world. A world of love. A world of harmony. A world of sweet tenderness that doesn't have anything to get and nothing to gain because love is directing. I'm content to be wherever love calls me to be. In the awareness that love goes there with me. In contentment, there is nothing to prove. Happy to be of service in the moment because there's nothing that needs to be grabbed, gotten, manipulated in any way. And the more that you are willing to be in that divine helpfulness of love, the more the heart opens, the more you are able to be present in love, as love, in harmony, and that there's nothing to be afraid of, nothing to control, nothing to figure out. Only love is here. Nothing else is happening. This is the moment of love, the moment of harmony. When you are guided, and you are willing to be guided by love, and to make no decisions on your own in the sense that you think that you were on your own before, even though it was the ego making all the decisions, there is peace available. There is harmony available. And there is a trust that the future is in the hands of God. It's not being held in separation of, I want the future to be a certain way because I have decided how it should look and what it means. But willing, show me the way as I place the future into the hands of love. Show me the way. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because love will direct me. Love is all that I say yes to. Love is what I want to follow. God, love. I don't want anything else. And in that, you begin to see through harmony and peace instead of trying to figure out the next step, trying to figure out how everything should be and what everything should look like. Harmony, because the power of love is running this life. And as the power of life and the power of love meld and are recognized as one, awakening to the oneness, because there isn't any more belief that I know. There is no more I to know. There is just love. Nothing to get, certainly nothing to lose, because everything is already present, already here. Now the ego would scream, well, I don't know that. And the arrogance of the ego doesn't know that. Because the arrogance of the ego believes in littleness. The arrogance of the ego believes in battle, in strategies, in efficiencies, in control, in fear. Doesn't know anything else because it's all that it is. Can't know that. Can't know love. Love is an awareness, divine awareness, that is all that there is, but is covered up by an identity that says, I know. It's covered up by an identity that says, look at my story. Look at all that I believe in. Look at all that I've made. It says I'm separate and I'm in battle and I'm without. It's time to let it go. It's time to surrender that identity into the hands of God and be willing to accept love as all that there is. Nothing else exists. I put myself in the hands of God. Only love is real. Divine breath, divine light, divine truth, divine love. Only love is true. Nothing else exists. What am I believing in? What am I making up in the moment? What am I thinking about? What am I holding on to? What am I deciding? And what is this I that's deciding? And I want to believe in the body's expressions. I want to believe everything that the body communicates. The body isn't deciding. The mind is deciding. And the body reacts. The body is the slave of the mind. That's all. That's all. It's to surrender everything into love. And to allow love to move and flow in every moment, because it's all that there is. Is it possible? Absolutely. Of course. It's guaranteed. It's just when. When is your choice? That's all. It's not your choice whether you're going to wake up or not. That's guaranteed because everything is just made up. But when? You can keep holding on and keep playing the game of knowing and controlling and pretending that there is something to know and something to control, which is a big joke. So as Hafiz says, for people who are serious, well, let's face it, they seem to have a lot of problems, and who wants those? Well, somebody wants them because somebody's choosing them. And it's to recognize that it's a choice to believe in problems or to recognize there is only one problem, the belief that you're separate. That's it. What are you thinking about all day and deciding what is a problem and what do you know and what do you have to figure out and what you have to do? And how tiring is that? To be figuring things out all day. In the name of efficiency, in the name of control, in the name of I'm in charge, or I want to be in charge. Maybe you have a secret wish. Maybe you have a secret fantasy that if all your life you've just fantasized about being in charge of everything. And so that's the goal. Let me be in charge of everything, and then I'll never be a victim again. Except that being in charge is actually what makes being a victim. They're not exclusive of each other, they're the same thing. When you believe that you're a victim of the world, it's because you want to be in charge. And because you want to try to be in control. And it doesn't work, and then you end up feeling like a victim. Or you see suspicions and everything else, and you can't control the outside world. How awful that you can't control the outside world. But there's nothing to control. And there are no victims. Mm-hmm. There's nothing to be a victim of, except what you believe in, what you've made up. It's a self-inflicted identification. That's all. It's not true. You are whole and complete in the divine truth of God. Whole. Whole. Not missing anything. The wholeness of love. The holiness of love. There's nothing missing. You can believe it all day long if you want to, that something's missing. If that makes you feel better, do you think it does? Follow the dots. It doesn't. It's where all the pain and the perceived suffering and everything is coming from. It's the belief that you are not whole and complete, and you're afraid of love. Why is everyone so afraid of love? The fear of love is the fear of disappearing. The fear of love is that you won't be in control, that you will disappear and cease to exist. And it's completely erroneous. To live as a separate belief system is not to live at all, because you're not aware of life. You're not aware of love. Love is life. So it's to recognize that there is a fear of love. The fear of not being in control and knowing. The question always arises, are you asking or calling everybody to let go of everything? No. It's to let go of what's nothing. It's to surrender what does not really exist for what is truly existence, which is love. You are love. You are the holiness of all life. Nothing else is true. Nothing. Can it just be accepted? Yes. Absolutely. There is nothing that stands in the way of remembering love, except the I know. And the belief that you are something other than love. And the belief that your identity of separation has purpose. And that you have something to control. Something to know. There's nothing that stands in the way of love except what you've made up. It's just fear. The fear of love. Mm-hmm. And the belief of the past. What if your past just disappeared right now? What if it just fell away and only the love remained? What would there be to control then? There would be nothing to control, because everything that you're trying to control is coming from your belief of who you think you are, and your identity, and the identity of all those that walked with you, and your belief that something was done to you that changed you. And you hold that like, I'm going to prove that they were wrong, that they were bad, that they were the fault of this. Let it go. No one's done anything. No one's changed the truth of love. No one can. It's not possible. But the healing is in the everyday. The everyday, moment to moment. What am I believing in right now? What am I believing in right now? Am I believing in the body? Am I believing in, I'm looking at the body? Am I listening to the body? Am I paying attention to the body, trying to protect the body? All protection is about the body. There's nothing else but protection of the body. How could you possibly be hurt if it wasn't for the identity of the body? And that includes the emotional body and the physical body. You couldn't even hold on to the concept of being hurt without the identification as the body. And if you identify as the body, you cannot identify as love. You have to choose, you're either the divine spirit of love or you are the body. And you cannot serve two masters. It's not possible. So the choice is yours. Every moment. Is this a day that is dedicated to love? Am I willing to be guided? I don't know the way. Oh, that's a nice idea. I'll say that a couple of times, and then I'll go and just do what I want and get back in control and figure things out and get back in my rules, get back in my rhythm, get back in my trance, get back in my patterns and my habits. And I always do it like this. And this is the way it should be done. I get up at a certain time. I have my rules. I have my rituals. I have my alignments. I do what I'm supposed to do. I don't question it. These are right. I have decided this is the way life should be. This is all erroneous. This is all concepts of a false identity. And there is no love there. There is no harmony. There's no peace. There's no joy. You're trying to prove to the world that you're right. That's all. But the world is too busy proving itself right. So then there's a battle because nobody's caring whether you're right or not. How rude. Pay attention to me. I'm right. Underneath every beloved's strategy is trying to prove underneath, it's underneath the surface, that you're going to prove not only your worth to your past, but you're going to prove that you are innocent and they are guilty. By not healing and remembering love. You want to have enemies from the past to prove that you're right. The enemies of the past are the ones that you believe damaged you, damaged your life, whatever. Anyone that you had conflict with in the past, you want to hold them as responsible, and it keeps you from healing because you want to stay right. You want to stay proving your worth your own way. And you will never prove your worth through your efficiency and your control and your fear and your holding everything separate. It's not possible. But love is calling you to remember. But you have to join. You have to choose love. You have to choose, I'm willing to be guided by love. I'm willing to be led by love. I'm willing for a new way. I don't know. I don't know what this moment means. I don't know how to look on anything. I don't know how anything should turn out. I don't know. I don't know. And in that not knowing, love can reveal itself and show you the way. Mm. Because the door is open. And because you're not holding the past as your hostage of identity. You're willing to surrender the past into the hands of God. Take this past. I don't know what it all meant. I don't know what it, I can't make sense out of it. I can't make anything out of it. It's all made up. I surrender the past. Surrender the past identity. I surrender the past of every identity that I've made up. And I forgive that mistaken identity and willingly say yes to love. Yes. Show me the way. I'm willing. There is a question that a beloved asked. It says, will you speak to the special relationship? What does having a special relationship mean? What are special relationships? You have a special relationship with yourself. Special relationships are the belief that there is something missing and that someone has something that you don't have. And you have to get it. You have to prove it. You have to win it. You have to prove your worth. But you also have this special relationship with yourself. You see yourself as special in the sense of something is missing. I'm very special. I'm without. And so I have a reason to try to be in control because I have done without. But there's no healing there. Mm-hmm. And in every relationship, you have the opportunity, and everything is a relationship. You have a relationship to a glass of water. It's a relationship now that seems separate. To bring that holiness and to heal the relationship is to realize that you are one with the water, that you are one with every beloved, that you are one with all of creation, and that there's nothing to gain from anything, but only in joining is the holiness realized and recognized. There's nothing missing. When you try to get something from somebody else, whether it's approval, whether it's love in a sorted upside down way, you will never achieve it because no one has anything that you don't have. When you make comparisons in the world and you see differences, every belief of differences that you identify with says I don't have that because I see it as different. And then I see others as lacking. And I see others as having more and less. And it's all made up. And every time you have a comparison, you are affirming the belief that you are without. What is there to compare in the totality of love? Everything that can be compared is made up. Made up. There is nothing to compare. Wholeness, by its very nature, is whole. How can there be something missing? And in every relationship that is held as unwhole, you will eventually feel betrayed. Sometimes it doesn't take very long. Sometimes it seems instantaneous. I believe that you have something that I don't have, and you're not giving it to me, so I feel betrayed. You look at me a certain way, and I interpret it as a judgment. I cannot be judged unless I feel that there is something to judge, which would mean that I was not all of love. I can only be at the effect of a judgment because I believe that there is something not whole and complete. And the judgment itself then becomes actually legitimate. And then there is battle. In the truth of love, there is nothing to get. Absolutely nothing to get from anyone. Whether it's approval, whether it's love, whether it's being liked, whether it's being agreed with, whether it doesn't matter how it presents itself, there's nothing to get. To accept that there is only love and only wholeness is to accept the union and holy wholeness of all life. That there is nothing to judge, that there is nothing to compare. But how can you go through your day without comparisons? You see comparisons in everything. Is this as good as this? I like this. I don't like this. There has to be a comparison there. I agree with this. I approve of this. I don't approve of this. There's a comparison. The belief that some have and some don't. Comparison, judgment, opinions, approval, disapproval. It's all pain and suffering. There's no recognition of the holiness and wholeness that is the truth of all life. If you were called to go to the pound and invite a being that was in the body of a dog to come and live with you, how would you choose? By its cuteness? Would you choose by how much it likes you? Would you choose by the size, by the rules, by this, by that? Or would you put it into the hands of God and say, I don't know. There's all equality here. How can I serve? How would I be choosing anything except to be allowing the spirit of love to show me what would be most helpful? To serve love, to remember. There's no other way. Everything else is a game. Everything else says, I know, and I believe in comparisons, and I believe in strategies, and I believe in likes and dislikes and judgments, and it's all pain and suffering. Connect the dots. Mm-hmm. That's where all the pain and the suffering comes from. Is the belief that one relationship has more worth than another. that one relationship will give you more than another? Not possible. It's all love. It's all divine equality. It's all the opportunity to remember love through the relationship. That's all. Every relationship can serve the remembering of love equally. Not more, not less. All in equality. And that's the choice. To see the wholeness and the beauty and the perfection in every beloved. And to not hold anything of comparisons and restrictions. There's a song that was out, I don't know when, maybe 70s or something like that, that said, "You and me against the world." You and me against the world. Well, that's the ultimate special relationship. And you better follow the rules in that you and me against the world, because we have to stay in agreement. But it's all upside down. There are no special relationships except in the mind that believes that something is missing and something has to be gotten from somebody else, or that they have to give you what you didn't get in the past. And that's the ultimate special relationship. I want you to give me and make up for the past, where I believe that I am without, where I believe that I am lacking. I want this relationship to make up for that. And it never can, because it's looking outside for something that you have to find within. God. Can you see God in the beloved? Absolutely. But when you see God in the beloved, you have to see God within, because you're seeing God. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can't see God in a beloved when you believe yourself to not be God. It's the flow, it's the movement of love's continuum. There's nothing missing. You can make up whatever you want to, and you can dance with it, and you can play with it. You can stay in comparisons, you can stay in judgments, you can stay in the belief of levels and degrees, but there's no love there. It's the willingness to see every beloved as whole and holy, and in that willingness you are seeing it within yourself, because there is no yourself and there is no other. It's all the oneness of God, that holy union, the unity of love. Does the ego fight to be right? Yeah, for a while. But the ego that's fighting to be right is run by you, in the belief that you are that ego. You have the choice. You have the choice to choose love or choose fear, to choose the belief that there isn't enough and that you are missing whatever, or to choose love and wholeness and holiness and want to see nothing else, no matter what. And that is the healing into holy relationship, wholeness, and then the relationship is no longer really relationship, because there's not two. It's the union and the returning to love. And this is with everything. and everyone in that holy union. Nothing to prove, nothing to get, nothing to win, nothing to succeed, just living in peace, living in harmony, living in love. This is the call to love. That nothing is missing. That no one is ever doing anything to you. That's a biggie. No one can do anything to you. When you are in pain and suffering, and you believe it, when you believe that you're in pain and suffering, because there really isn't any pain and suffering, but when you believe you're in pain and suffering, which can look like discomfort, upset, defense systems, it doesn't matter how it shows itself. It is not from somebody else. It is not from another situation. It is all coming from the choice that you are making in the moment to choose fear rather than love. And to believe that you are separate and without. That's all that it ever is. That you are not a victim of this world. That you are not a victim of anything. That the world that you see is the world that you've made up. That you believe in. And that's where the healing is. That willingness to let go, to surrender. Everything that you have held as ownership of your concept of a world. It's not true. The acceptance of love. The acceptance of harmony. And the letting go of believing that there is anything to control and figure out. What if you could never make another list? Or never make another plan? What if it was like it just disappeared? Do you think that life would end? Or would you open to, oh, possibly God could lead me. Possibly I could listen and let love lead the way. And what a harmonious life. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because love will direct me. There would be no more worries because love would be directing. God would be directing. The school of love would be recognized and would be given everything in devotion. Lead this life. Show me the way. I don't know. Everybody's heard the saying, more than likely, that says, when people make plans, God laughs. It's the big cosmic joke. Making plans, figuring things out, making lists, being in control. It's the laughter. Because the control, the making plans and everything, it's very serious business. Very serious indeed. Can't leave anything off your list. Can't leave anything out of your plans. God laughs. Because there's nothing to control. You're trying to control what your mind is making up. It's like have a hamster in a cage. It's just running in the same circle all the time. believing that it's getting somewhere, doing something, and all that you're trying to do is control what you're thinking up, which doesn't. There's nothing to control because it doesn't mean anything. Opening the heart, lead me, show me the way. I'm happily led. I don't know what's most helpful, but I'm saying yes. I'm content to be wherever love calls me to be. Wherever you are in the moment, when the mind says, I don't like this, what the mind is saying, what the intention is I have another idea of how things should be and where I should be and what things should look like. Well, you're only seeing what you're believing in. So you're in battle with your own mind. I don't like what I'm seeing. Well, then stop seeing what you think. All you're seeing is what you're making up. There's nothing else being seen. Yes, my
Yeah, in my healing process, I'm, like many people, very forgetful. So I find it helpful to write things down, and I just want to check this out with you. Then I go to guidance about, is there anything to do for me to be, that I'm called to do on the list, and in what order, or is that coming in a side door?
If you had a piece of paper and you asked God to tell you what to write down, if it would be helpful, then it belongs to God.
Yes.
It's not ownership. So it's like reading a book. The words were written down, but there wasn't an attachment really to the writing down. There wasn't an ownership of it that says, these are my rules, this is what I'm doing, this is what it means to me. It's the meaning that you give it, and the belief that it's running and efficient. But it doesn't have to. Everything can be used by love. It's just what the intention is. And if there's no intention, if it's out of habit, then it's guaranteed that it's an ego decision that is running it.
And if I understand you correctly, what you've said, it's the surrender that you bring into the doing of it. Because if I'm feeling guided to wash the dishes, it's really doing that with love.
Yes.
So you can play with this all different ways. I could say, oh, I feel called to wash the dishes, and then I could be furiously washing the dishes.
So you check. Yeah, the words don't mean anything. And the ego can take those words and manipulate with the words. I'm called to this. No, it's control. There's really no calling there. It's just controlled using the word I'm called. But yes, if you're called to wash the dishes, then in that you're wanting to be present and just be one with the dishes, one with the soap, one with the moment. And it's not personal, and there's nothing. You don't have a list in your mind saying, "Oh, check that off. Done, done, done." No, it's just, this is what's showing up right now, and I'm willing to just be here and allow and be present in this moment and in love. Yeah. So what the mind likes to do is, while the dishes are being done, the mind is already someplace else, thinking about something else, trying to plan and figure out something else, and you're not present, and you're not in love. And you're already believing that you've given this holy relationship, you've given it a different meaning that says if it belongs to the ego, you've given it a different meaning that says, this has a value to it that is less and more than something else. So washing the dishes becomes a chore. So it has less value or more value depending on what you think it is. It isn't. It's the communion of that moment. It's not a chore at all. It's not labeled. It's not given an identity. And then there's no pain. Because once it becomes the identity of something that's been given to it, a chore, or I have to get this done, but I'm already thinking about where I'm going to be next, or what I'm doing next, or what's more important, or whatever. There is a relationship automatically out of that of tiredness, because it's been identified as a concept, that this isn't the same as being in a bathtub, with bubbles, that has a different value than washing the dishes. And there's all, it can be a whole story of, all kinds of different things of, I'm going to prove my worth here, or I'm going to, or the other extreme of I'm always taken advantage of because I'm always doing the dishes, or it's a never-ending possibility of what the mind can make out of it. But it's just chop wood, carry water. It's being one with the opportunity of being in oneness with the dishes, and not even seeing them as dishes anymore, and not even seeing it as soapy water, but the willingness to enter into love in that moment, and open to the truth of what is right here in this moment. And then there's no need at all for what the mind wants to figure out and do and check off its list or whatever. It's all just harmony and the beauty of the moment. Yes, my darling.
I just wanted to check on my understanding of something. Let's say I have to make a decision to take this path up, this path home. So I ask for guidance, and I get to say, take this left path. Okay, so I go on the path, and let's say somebody robs me, or I meet 3 people and have malaria, I catch malaria, something that the ego would judge as terrible. Okay, and my understanding is that everything that seems to happen to me, I have chosen, I have asked for, and received as I have asked. So what I get from that is that I don't know what this is for, but Spirit does, because I don't know what my best interests are coming from my ego. But Spirit knows the Great Spirit knows what are in my best interests. And so even though it seems to have happened to me, I have chosen this. Whatever that I'm not in touch with, but I have chosen this in order to remember this experience. Is that right?
Almost.
Almost. Okay.
Almost, in the sense, let's say you're guided to walk home a certain way.
Yeah.
Let's say you get robbed.
Yeah.
The meaning that you give that is what you're choosing.
Is what right?
What you're choosing.
Yes.
It's the meaning that you're giving it. In truth, the whole
Nothing
belief.
happened.
Yeah, the belief that something is attacking you or threatening you is the meaning that you're giving it.
Right.
So that's what you're choosing. In and of itself, it doesn't have any meaning.
Well, let's suppose I would say, thank you. Instead, let's suppose I gave it that meaning. Say, thank you for this experience. I don't know what it's for, but I trust that it's to my remembering. Is that still giving it a meaning, isn't it?
No, it's not in the same way, but so it's the opportunity for love.
Yeah.
So the thank you would be, I have the opportunity to remember love in this moment.
Right.
That this beloved is one with me.
Right. And the I that asks for that is not the conscious I of the ego. It's the I
Yeah.
of the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So that double check.
But it's always the choice
Yes.
in the moment of, I could see love instead of what I'm seeing. Which
Yes.
So if you're choosing fear and you're building a story out of it, let's say you're guided. You ask, and you're called to take a particular route home, and you fall down.
Mm-hmm.
You trip over
Right.
a crack in the sidewalk. And same thing. It's like you can judge that as, oh, well, that was bad. I should have walked the other way, or
Mhm.
whatever. No, this doesn't have any other meaning than there is opportunity to love here,
So,
and an opportunity of healing.
right. So, let's say someone who has no sense of being consciously on a path or anything, an atheist, let's talk about an atheist, has the same experience.
Uh-huh.
Have they asked for that experience?
How they ask for that?
Have they asked for that experience?
Have they?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. The I within them, the truth of them.
Well, no, their ego also asks for that experience.
Yeah, so,
When you believe in struggle and pain,
right.
if you are in the world and you believe in right and wrong and
Right.
good and bad and more and less,
Yeah.
and all of that,
Right.
your belief is instantaneously deciding that this is bad,
Right.
and then you suffer.
So then the I that asks for that is the ego.
Mm-hmm.
That's distinct from the I of light that's asking for it. Okay.
Because you're choosing to see a world of pain and suffering,
Right.
and so that the ego is then in charge.
That's a teaching that I looked at many times. I just wanted to clarify it for myself to get a better take.
So in this moment,
Mm-hmm.
the willingness to remember love, the willingness to accept that only love exists, the willingness that there is nothing happening to you, and that everything is a choice between fear and love in every moment, and the willingness to be guided, the willingness to not be led by fear, to make decisions out of fear, but to ask to be shown a new way, the way of love, the way of harmony and peace and joy. Yes to